All right, it seems that in UAE, they're going to lower the driving age to the age of 17. And there were a couple of expats who are based in Dubai, who are part of my WhatsApp groups. They asked me, I would like to know your opinion. Is that a good thing or bad thing? I'll first give you my analysis or understanding. You can tell me if I'm right or wrong. Okay. Now, first one. So, what happens when they lower the age of driving? Obviously, now you have created a new market segment of a new age group. So, all of them will jump into the pool of wanting to get a license. So, let's say, for example, you had 900,000 people above the age of 18 and above who all had driving license, 900,000. Now you opened up for 17-year-olds, there's 100,000 potential candidates or people who will qualify. So now you have 1 million people who will get their license. And if 1 million people get their license, before you had 900,000 cars, I'm just giving a rough example, make it easy. Before you had 900,000 cars on the roads, now after they get their license, you'll have 1 million cars. So you'll have 100,000 more. So there will be more buyers, there will be more licenses issued, there will be more cars on the road. That will put more pressure on the infrastructure. That will give the government more revenue because it issued more license. More people will be employed because they have to, because workload has increased. So obviously, when business increase, you need a lot more people to process the documents, to process, take the tests. Okay, and then you'll have more car salespeople, or maybe they'll increase the target. Okay, so you'll have more people making more money, sales. Okay, and then they not only will buy the cars, they will buy the accessories. So associated businesses with the car will grow. Insurance companies will now get more business because more people are buying insurance. Maybe they'll have a new product. Okay, this is insurance exclusively for 17-year-olds. Um, then you'll also have maybe a new market that is being created because youngsters like fast cars, cool cars. So maybe banks will issue, okay, if you buy this luxury car, we'll give it to you at this down payment. Oh, nobody is issuing you a loan, we will issue you loans. So banks will also jump into uh, and be part of the action. Why not? Okay. Then you'll have more people in debt because more people are buying more or spending more, and because they don't want to lock their cash, so many parents would take bank loans because not everyone can afford down payment. Okay, and then obviously the government benefits because each car has to under registration, documentation, the testing, the SALIC, government based, petrol stations, car wash. So the economy also grows. So you're having everything will increase. On the good side, money, liquidity, cash, business, users, but that in turn gives also, remember, yin yang, good, bad, black, white. There'll also be drawbacks. The first one, which is being obvious, is accidents. And I can tell you this much, the number of accidents will increase astronomically. It will be a disaster because all of us, even when I was young, forget being inspired by the movie Fast and Furious or racing. We just love the thrill of being able to go fast. It's a thrill. We enjoy speed. And when you have a young man or a young woman for that matter, whose body is just changing, young men, especially with testosterone, they want fast and furious. They want muscled cars. They want fast cars. And then they are not stable where their emotions and feelings are concerned. And that is a very big problem. Here, I stay, in a forest. I stay inside the forest, inside roads, where it's very peaceful and calm. But you'll be surprised to know I have boys as young as 6-year-old. I've even seen a 5-year-old boy, 5 or 4-year-old actually practicing driving a scooter here. Actually, with my own eyes. Huh? Yeah, scooter, you just have to rev up, put the keys in, and just rev. But if they were practicing under supervision, that would be something. They're doing it with their friends or their brothers, all that. And then, if that was not dangerous enough, they are racing. I've seen two, three scooters racing, just zoom, and they go. And many a times they have nearly crashed. I've seen one accident where one old lady was coming out with a scooter, and these three girls, they banged right headlong. And then you have accidents happening because a dog just crossed the road. And a few days ago I was driving at a decent speed, and a snake just crossed. And thank goodness I was holding it stable, because if I moved this way and my daughter was sitting there, we could have fallen down. A snake just suddenly zoomed across, and that was pretty scary. I'm kind of afraid of snakes, even though I had snakes as my pets, which are the harmless ones, but still. So, given the fact that they're not emotionally mature, that they like thrill, they like speed, they like power, and especially when you have youngsters who also will be drinking caffeinated products or alcohol, I'll tell you, if there's an accident, it's going to be death. Number one, it's going to be death, or number two, it's going to be serious injury. Now, I personally wouldn't mind if that boy or that girl drives, breaks her leg, breaks her hand, or dies. It's you did it, all the best to you. You'll pay the price. But where I get concerned, or anybody has to be concerned, is when they crash, it's not just them crashing, they will crash into an innocent family. There have been news, especially during holidays, during the Eid. I remember this when I was in Dubai. This Keralite family, because majority of the Indians are mostly Keralites in UAE. Husband, wife, two kids, and the grandparents. The grandparents had flown down. That means I think the girls or the guys' parents had flown down from India to celebrate Eid in Dubai, and they went for one of those long drives and overnight desert this thing. And somewhere in the evening, because everyone is speeding and all during Eid, they met with a accident of one group of local young men who were racing. Okay, they were not kids, but they were racing, and they ended up smashing into this vehicle, and all of them died because the vehicle burst into flames. So now, who's to pay the price? Yeah, that local guy. If he dies, and I'm not saying because he's local. Yeah, he was speeding, he was racing. If he died, he lost his limb or this thing. He did it. But what was the fault of that family? So you're going to have more accidents. Insurance companies will definitely play the game there. You're going to have more injuries. You're going to have more deaths. Personally, what do I think? Personally, I look at it as a business move by UAE. They're not doing it from the goodness of their heart. They're not doing it because, if we teach them driving at an early age, they're going to be ideal citizens. No, it's all bullshit. Once you get a license to drive, people of all ages, they drive like mad. In fact, here in Thailand, you can just Google search how many accidents, tourists who come here, they're not children. They are 20s, 30s, 40s, even 40-year-old men. They drive without a helmet. They drive without a shirt. They drive with their shorts. And when they come in a group, they don't drive like following lane discipline. They will be racing with each other, going zigzag and taking a photo and doing all crazy stuff. Why? Because they are in a holiday high and they think they are invincible. They think accidents that they see online or the accidents that happen, it's somebody else. It'll happen to some. It'll never happen to me. That's what every individual believes. Like, for example, you who's driving, do you ever think an accident is going to happen to you? Do you visualize that? No, accidents will happen, but not to me. But guess what? With the WhatsApp groups that I have, and some of the particular group is the blood gore graphic group that I have, the videos that they share of accidents, oh goodness, it is, even if you have a strong stomach, some of them you cannot bear. Like, things out of the blue, like totally unpredictable. I'll give you a simple example. This was the latest video that was shared in my group. This guy is driving a massive truck. You know, this truck that you drag heavy, super heavy machinery. So it's a long truck, and the other side is a pickup truck. So they both come, and it's a thin bridge. So they both stop. Okay, they both stop. This long truck has this couple of motorbikes, small motorbikes at the side, and this pickup truck also has a couple of motorbikes. So because these two guys have stopped, these other motorbikes go in between that space. They're going between the space, and everything was fine until one guy, out of the blue, just came across. He stopped, hesitated for a few seconds, and then he came. Now remember, this big truck has, it's a very big seat. Like the guy has to look at the top. There's a blind spot which is down. So this guy with his motorbike, he came in and he obviously couldn't see him. And he moved his truck onto that guy. And, like when you take a watermelon and you throw it on the ground and it bursts and all the red liquid comes out. This guy head was under the wheel, and the same thing happened. I've seen other videos where these young boys and girls, they race. There was a video that was shared in Thailand, I think 2-3 years ago. I think because they graduated from college, all of them got into one of those modified, like Toyota Tundra kind of a vehicle, 4-wheel drive. The back is like, to carry heavy stuff. So they all were dancing over there, all were dancing because they graduated. And this guy over there, they're all very happy. It was a group. They went at a very high speed, obviously nighttime. Nobody is there because they're celebrating. And it so happened that this particular road, there was water that overflowed from somewhere. It was like a kind of a cross junction. And because of water, the area was slightly slippery, the roads. And as they were coming, they were moving fast. There's some guy who saw maybe the road was empty or he was drunk. He took a turning. And to avoid him, they swerved. And after they swerved, this whole pickup truck went, flipping. And all the young boys and girls, all of them, they all died. And not only that, what was horrific to see is their body parts were all over the road. They actually took a photograph and video and showed that. The whole road was crimson red with their blood. Just imagine young boys and girls. So I'm not saying, and I'm not wishing that this is what happens, but the reality is the possibility of this happening is very high. Because remember, in Dubai, luxury cars, muscled cars, modified cars, you have youngsters who are high in testosterone, who are bored, who want to show off. You have guys and girls who emotions and feelings are very high. You have people who are not mature, and you're giving them the power to move a machine that is on the road. And when you can't control your emotions and feelings, and when you experience road rage, which I have had, I'll make a separate video of my road rage incidents when I was in my 20s. And your blood is boiling because someone cut you. And I'm sure even today you lose your cool and your blood boils. And you know what we do? We are not ready to give that space to somebody who wants to come in. Or, when you're racing, you're like, you flip your middle finger, and then that guy gets angry and you both want to become Vin Diesel and The Rock while on the road. There is a price to pay, man. Because when it's time for you to die, or when it's time for something bad to happen, nobody's going to inform you. So for me, I see this as a business move. I see this as more money for the people who sell cars, sell insurance, sell accessories. But overall, I see it as a very bad thing. Very, very bad thing for the people of UAE. Very bad. You will see a lot more accidents. Lots. And remember me when it happens, because I'm telling you, yes, the families would definitely want them to have their own car so that they are not dependent on metro and taxi and all that. You'll say it's a good thing, independence. Yeah, try giving a gun or a knife to a youngster who He's just having his puberty, testosterone. And one day when he loses his cool, especially when he's angry or with hyper caffeine or worst, alcohol, then you'll understand what I'm saying. Anyway, these are my thoughts. Let me know what are yours. Love to hear from you. What do you think? Is it a good idea? Is it a bad idea? Love to hear what you have to say. You guys take care.